Here we are. The stream is starting. The stream is starting soon. And we're reading the book of Matthew, chapter 12, where we'll be starting from verse 1. Jesus is Lord of the Sabbath. Jesus is Lord of the Sabbath. We also going to be looking at a man with a withered hand. As you can see on the screen, welcome to One Overtaken by Blessings. I'm your reader. I'm reading this for my increased learning. Hopefully that you will also enjoy this with me. We have the verses on the screen, and as we are increasingly doing this, we will be able to bring, I think on this reading, I want to look at this Sabbath day, but I want to look at it through the Webster's Dictionary. The Webster's Dictionary, 1913. And the Webster's, in the up-to-date Webster's Dictionary concerning the Sabbath. So what you think about that, Sheep?
Very interesting, especially when you dive into it.
This is my co-host reading with me. We're both learning. My best friend. You know, I thank God for you. You know that you can read and study with me, know how busy you are, taking care of everyone, you know, but still making time to read and listen to the Word of God.
And especially study, like you said. I enjoy studying with you and learning the commandments and laws. Thank you for having me.
Hey. So, I'm going to start reading Matthew chapter 12.
Verse 1.
At that time, Jesus went on the Sabbath day. Interesting. At that time, Jesus went on the Sabbath day through the corn, and his disciples were an hungered and began to pluck the ears of corn and to eat. We have this word Sabbath day underlined. You see, today a lot of individuals call the Sabbath day the first day of the week.
Exactly.
Sunday.
It's not the Sabbath day.
So we want to look at the dictionary, and we're going to start with Webster Dictionary, 1913. It's 2026, so this definition of the Sabbath was understood in the year 1913. Sabbath, a noun, a season or day of rest, one day in 7 appointed for rest or worship. So it's a day appointed for rest or worship. The observance of which was enjoined upon the Jews in the Decalogues and has been continued by the Christian church. So it was a day that was given unto the house of Israel. And we can see this in the book of Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. And has been continued by the Christian church. So the Christian church continued the Sabbath with a transference of the day observed from the last
to the
first day of the week. So this is the key word right here. How in the Webster 1913 the Christian church transferred, it says the Christian church with a transference. So did the Christian church take the Sabbath from the last day of the week, which we know
is the first day,
to the first day of the week? Because the last day of the week is the Sabbath. So you got first day, second day, third day, fourth day, fifth day, sixth day, Sabbath. But now, as we're looking at this 1913, it says that it transferred it from, it says, and has been continued by the Christian church with a transference of the day observed from the last to the first day of the week. So now the Christian church has observed the Sabbath through the first day of the week, but they transferred it. So as we're studying the Word of God, as we're reading the Word of God, we want to see, and anywhere in the Bible, this is why we're reading it.
Yeah, because a lot of people tend to think that Sunday is the first day of the week.
Sabbath.
Which you also have a lot of people saying it's the last day of the week.
Well, we know that Sunday is the first day of the week.
Yes.
However, it's not the Sabbath.
Exactly, because it's been transferred.
Because it's been transferred.
Yep. Which we about to get into.
Observe from the last to the first day of the week, which is called also the Lord's Day. So the first day of the week is called
the Lord's Day.
The Lord's Day. Let's go to Webster. Now that was Webster 1913.
Right.
Okay. Sabbath, a noun. This is how people understand it today. The day which God appointed to be observed by the Jews as a day of rest and all secular labor or employment from all secular labor or employment. So it's a day of rest where there's no secular labor and there's no employment. Okay, and to be kept holy and consecrated to his service and worship. So it's a day that you focus only on the Most High God.
I like that.
This was originally the seventh day of the week. Let's highlight this sheet.
Yep.
This, let's go ahead.
Was originally
of the week. Now notice this was originally the day on which God rested from the work of creation. And this day is still observed by the Jews, by Israel, and some Christians. So some Christians observe the seventh day as the Sabbath and not the first day.
Okay.
See? So it says, and this day is still observed by the Jews and some Christians as the Sabbath. Right. Period. But, Webster's now.
Okay.
But the Christian church very early, begun and still continue to observe the first day of the week in commemoration of the resurrection of Christ on that day. So let me go back up here again. But the Christian church very early begun and still continue to observe the first day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Is this an issue? In commemoration of the resurrection of Christ on that day, by which the work of redemption was completed. Hence, it is often called the Lord's Day. The heathen nations in the north of Europe dedicated this day to the sun.
Underline heathen.
Okay. The heathen nations. What do you think about that?
Trying to tell you something without telling you, okay?
The heathen nations in the north of Europe dedicated this day to the sun. I hope y'all see this as we are reading this for our study. The heathen nations in the north of Europe dedicated this day to the sun, and hence their Christian descendants continue to call the day
Sunday.
Come
on now.
Wow.
They saying change that day.
What? So the first day of the week is called Sunday because the heathen nations dedicated a transference of the Sabbath to the sun, the S-U-N.
Yep.
So that's a day of worshiping the sun?
Exactly.
Oh, wow. Gotta be careful. A dedication to worshiping the sun. And hence, their Christian descendants continue to call the day Sunday. But, however, in the United States,
yes,
Christians have to a great extent discarded the heathen name and adopted the Jewish name.
Oh my goodness.
Sabbath.
Wow.
So instead of calling it Sunday, they now call the first day of the week the Sabbath, but it has been transferred.
Yes.
It has been transferred.
Yes.
That's interesting.
And who transferred it?
Oh my, see, that's something that we'll have to get into. Very touchy.
Yes.
Very touchy. But that lets a lot of people know who's reading with us.
Yes.
Exactly. It's on the screen. Webster.
They ain't come from us, y'all. They came from the Webster.
It's letting that it was transferred. So when you go to church on Sunday and call it the Sabbath, you're following after the heathen nations. Even though that it says, but in the United States, Christians have to a great extent discarded the heathen name.
Yes.
Just because you throw away the heathen name don't mean that it's not what it is.
And adopt a cover up.
And adopted the Jewish name Sabbath. So they adopted in
without saying anything. Okay.
So that's something that has to be looked at very carefully.
Very interesting.
You know, hit that like button, that notification button, that subscribe button, and don't forget to
share.
Come on now. Let's get into this. Get into this reading Uh, Jesus is the Lord of the Sabbath. Now we just read that Sunday.
It's not the Sabbath.
So we know what Sunday means. Dedication to the sun.
Yep.
See, so that means the resurrection of Christ is dedicated. They dedicated the resurrection of Christ to the sun.
Which we know that really Saturday is the Sabbath day.
Saturday, which they call Saturn. However, but the Sabbath is the seventh day of the week. So now we know that the first day of the week is understood as a dedication of the resurrection of Christ to the Son. Yep. Very, very, this is why we got to read. Matthew chapter 12, verse 1. At that time, Jesus went on the Sabbath day, which is the seventh day of the week, through the corn, and his disciples were an hungered, and began to pluck ears of corn and to eat. Verse 2. But when the Pharisees saw, they said unto him, Behold, your disciples do that which is not lawful to do upon the Sabbath day. No employment, no labor, as we read. So it's not lawful. And we're learning that.
Yes.
So on the Sabbath day, there's no employment and there's no labor. There's no cleaning, ironing, washing.
Yeah.
See?
None of that. You nor your maids, housekeepers, whatever, anyone that comes to your home, all are supposed to be in a day of rest.
They're supposed to be chilling.
Yep.
But he,
Matthew 12,
Jesus, Yahushua, but he, Yahushua, said unto them, Have you not read what David did when he was a hungered, and they that were with him, so he was hungry, and they that were with him, how he entered into the house of God, the house of Yahweh, and did eat the showbread, which was not lawful for David to eat, for him to eat, neither for them which were with David, but only for the priests. So he asked them, Have you not read? Have you not read it? Let's read this.
Okay.
Let's take a look at this.
And we're in Matthew 12:3, y'all.
We're in the book of Matthew 12:3. Go ahead now. Come on now. And let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 21. Let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 21. And we want to read at verse 3. Okay, let's start at David and the holy bread. 1 Samuel 21. Then came David to Nob, to Ahimelech the priest, and Ahimelech was afraid at the meeting of David, and said unto him, Why art thou alone, and no man with thee? And David said unto Ahimelech the priest, the king has commanded me a business, and has said unto me, Let no man know anything of the business whereabout I send thee, and what I have commanded thee, and I have appointed my servants to such in such a place. Now therefore, what is under thy hand, give me 5 loaves of bread in my hand, or what there is present. And the priest answered David and said, there is no common bread under my hand. There's no common bread. So we notice that Christ says, have ye not read what David did when he was a hungered, and they that were with him? So have you not read it? So that means the book of Samuel, during this particular time when Christ was walking, they read and studied, but Christ asked them, have you read it? Meaning, have you looked at it? Have you observed it? Have you studied it? Have you applied it?
Yeah.
See? And the priest answered David and said, there is no common bread under my hand, but there is hallowed bread, holy bread. If the young men have kept themselves at least from women. Okay, so no partying, no plan. Okay, verse 5, 1 Samuel chapter 21. And David answered the priest and said unto him, of a truth, women have been kept from us about these 3 days, since I came out of the vessels of the young men are holy, and the bread is a manner common, yea, though it were sanctified this day in the vessels. So the priest gave him hollow bread, for there was no bread there but the show bread that was taken from before the Lord, to put hot bread in the day when it was taken away. Now a certain man of the servants of Saul was there that day, detained before the Lord, and his name was Doggy, an Edomite, the chiefest of the herdmen that belonged to Saul. And David said to Ahimelech, and is there not here under thy hand spear or sword? For I have neither brought my sword nor my weapon with me, because the king's business required haste. And the priest said, the sword of Goliath the Philistine, whom thou slewest in the valley of Eliah. Behold, it is here, wrapped in cloth behind the ephod. If thou wilt take that, take it, for there is no other save that here. And David said, there is none like it, give it me. So we're in the book of Matthew. We're reading the book of Matthew so we can understand chapter 12, that David was hungry. And David needed to eat.
Right.
And the showbread was holy, which God only gives to the priests. However, it was given to David to eat. Now here it is on the Sabbath. Start from the top. At that time, Jesus went on the Sabbath day through the corn, and his disciples were a-hungered, and began to pluck the ears of corn
to eat.
But when the Pharisees saw it, they said unto him, behold, listen, man, thy disciples do that which is not lawful, which is true, to do upon the Sabbath. We even looked at the Webster, where that the Webster, no labor, so you can't pluck.
Oh, wow.
See?
So that's considered a work.
Okay. So that there is no labor. That's called work. Okay, it had already had to be plucked the day before, prepared.
Oh yeah, set aside so you don't have to do any work.
Right, it's already set aside.
Yeah.
Right. But Jesus said unto them, have you not read what David did, as what we just read in the book of Samuel, where he was hungry and they that were with David, how he entered into the house of God, the house of the Most High, and did eat the showbread, which was not lawful for David to eat, neither for them which were with David, but only for the priest. So that showbread was only for the priest to eat. See? Or have you not read in the law how that on the Sabbath days, with an S, the priests in the temple profane the Sabbath and are blameless? So Christ is saying to the Pharisees, have you not read any of this? Okay. Have you not studied?
Yeah.
Because so, but I say unto you, verse 6, but I say unto you that in this place is one greater than the temple. That's interesting. If the house of God, if the temple is the house of God, but Christ is saying, but I say unto you that in this place is one greater than the temple of God. Which is saying that Christ is greater than the temple.
Okay.
So if it's the house of God and Christ is greater than the temple, that makes Christ God.
Oh, wow.
Because only God can be greater than the temple if it's built unto him to serve, to worship. But verse 7, but if you had known what this meant, so they did not know who Christ was.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I will have mercy and not sacrifice. It's about mercy. God is merciful and compassion. I will have mercy and not sacrifice. You would not have condemned the guiltless. He's saying his disciples are guiltless in what they're doing. They're hungry.
Yeah.
They need to eat.
And that's why they were plucking the ears of corn.
So is God saying that if you're hungry on the Sabbath, don't starve, you can eat? Interesting.
Yeah, because he's saying if you didn't know, he would have mercy.
He would have mercy. If you're hungry, if your child is hungry,
yeah,
do you feed your child on the Sabbath? Do you go and make that milk?
Oh.
And give it to your child?
Yeah, because he's saying he would have had mercy.
He's going to have mercy on that baby. He don't want you to starve the child.
Yeah.
My goodness. This is why we have to read the Bible. We have to look at it. Going and just getting one verse here and one verse there and then having a 45-minute show is not good enough any longer.
Yeah.
Knowing that what Sunday is.
Exactly.
Knowing what Sunday is.
Yeah, because a lot of people practice the law of the Sabbath on Sunday when it's supposed to really be on the day of Saturday.
And we just read in the Webster how that they transferred it.
And who transferred it, okay?
The Christians. See? That's why we got to be careful
name
of Christianity.
Okay.
Okay, now.
Let's keep it going.
Let's keep it going. Matthew 12, verse 8.
Yeah.
For the Son of Man is Lord even of the Sabbath day.
Come on now.
So he is Lord of the Sabbath. He's greater than the temple.
Mm-hmm.
He's master of the Sabbath. We have just read the book of Matthew. We have just read the book of Matthew, chapter 12, verses 1 through 8. And we have read that this study is Jesus is Lord of the Sabbath day. We would like, if you will, to read with us, to hit that like button, that notification button, that subscribe button, and if you will, can you
share?
Please do. Please do. We're reading. I'm your reader chief, and I'm with my great, wonderful, beautiful host, Sheep. I love you so much, and I greatly appreciate you, reading and studying with me. Are you having a good time?
Of course, yes. Thank you so much for having me.
And guess what, people? We'll be right back.
Okay.